Hello, and welcome to another episode of Take a Deep Breath with Yvonne Daniels podcast. I am your well being girlfriend, Yvonne Daniels, encouraging you to embrace the power of giving your body permission to relax for better choices, health, and wealth. We're doing it one deep breath at a time. All you need is an open heart and an open mind and a willingness to grow and to go. And of course, over this way, we are always talking about health narratives, changing those, leaving health legacies, and just so grateful that the health is actually the wealth that we're born with. So we talk about all the other types of wealth that we need to know about, but health is that wealth that God has blessed us with, and we're just so thankful and try and be as good a steward with it as possible. That means getting enough sleep. Accepting responsibility for our own well being, taking as many deep breaths as possible, tuning into our bodies, no matter how frightening it could be, and moving our bodies. So, Matt, how are you doing today?
Hey, what up, though? How are you doing today?
I am doing well. And of course, man, I tell you what, you know how we start every episode.
With the deep breath.
Let's go. Come on. In and out, man. I'm telling you, it feels so good every time you do it. And if you don't believe me, try it. All right. So this week, we're talking about something that, man, I tell you, is something that I am dealing with right now. Matt, you may be dealing with it as well. This week, actually, is International Take Back Your Time Week. So, how do you feel about time? Do you think you have enough of it to do all the things that you have to do?
Well, especially since the recent semester started back up, I'm telling you what, it seems like every single day I wake up, I go to work, I come home, I do homework. It seems like I've barely been hanging out with friends, talking to family, doing really anything outside of work and school. It's like I've just been so swamped with homework and just, work stuff recently. It's not even funny.
Yeah. Well, I tell you what, Matt, as a young person, I will tell you there are those seasons in your life. And I think that's throughout your life. So the season you're in now with that, it feels like you're just doing that. That's, for a greater end. Because I tell you, when all this is over, you'll have your degree. You'll be able to pursue all the stuff you want to pursue. So all I can tell you with that is hang in there for sure. But that time thing, I'm telling you, I feel you on that. I remember those days. And even in the season that I'm in now, it's just, and not only us, but apparently this is something that we're all experiencing. So if you are tired, worn out, overworked, apparently that's something that all of us are experiencing. So they created a week for it. And the National Take Back Your Time Week, man, it is on, it is popping. It's a major U.S. Canadian initiative to challenge the epidemic of overwork, overscheduling, and time famine that now threatens our health, our families and relationships, our communities, and our environment. And we don't want it to do that for sure. But, it's good to be busy because, I was always told that an idle mind is the devil's workshop. So I believe that, sometimes though we can take it, and I don't want to say we can take it to the extreme, but I think maybe need to learn how to manage it better. I found something on psychology today, which I thought was really interesting. Matt, have you ever heard of time sickness?
I have not. No.
Well, yeah, I hadn't either. So when I came across this, I was like, wow. So psychology today calls it time sickness, and it refers to the distress and negative health effects linked to fear that time is slipping away. So time isn't something to compete against. I know a lot of people feel like it is. It's a resource to use with intention. And I like that. That just makes me feel calmer even saying it like that. So shifting one's mindset about time can help you to slow down and experience the richness of life. So we like this direction for sure. So it goes on to say that if you've ever felt crushed by an endless to-do list, which I know we all have. Matt, you just talked about a lot of the stuff on your to-do list right now in this season. It can include juggling work, relationships. I'm going to throw in school because that's what you're dealing with right now. Self-care and responsibilities. If you have ever felt crushed by this, you're likely experiencing what they call time sickness. So this is a state of constant urgency, which fuels guilt, exhaustion, and the feeling of never doing enough. And we know that is not good. So it says instead of scrambling to catch up, you can let go of unnecessary guilt and start aligning your time with what brings meaning and fulfillment to your life. And they've got some great ways to shift your mindset about time. And I know that mindset is so important on everything. So I was really intrigued and so glad that they had this information. So it goes on to say that you can, number one, stop measuring time by productivity. productivity. So your worth isn't defined by how much you accomplish in a day. And that's a light bulb for a lot of folks because it's like, I didn't get this. You may have 50 things on your to do list for a day. And I mean, you think, is that really reasonable to think that you're going to do all 50 things in one day? I mean, for real, there are only 24 hours in a day. So if you focus on those meaningful moments, not just completed tasks, at the end of each day, you can list one or two moments that brought you genuine joy or connection, whether that's a quiet coffee break, something as simple as that, a conversation with a friend. I know I have conversations. It's really good to like the people that you work with. And so my coworkers, we have lots of meaningful conversations, or even a few minutes of, we like to do deep breathing. So they include that as well. I'm telling you, that deep breathing thing, there's something to that. So you can also let go of the perfect timeline. I know that can trip a lot of us up. So instead of adhering to strict deadlines for milestones like different career moves or personal goals, create flexible windows during which you'd like to achieve this. These are, kind of personal goals, and career moves can be pretty serious. But if you have a flexible timeline, that's going to make it a lot, more doable and make you feel better about, trying to achieve that goal. So write down one major goal and list several realistic smaller steps to get there. I've been doing this, and it really does. This whole episode, as I was getting the information and research, it felt like confirmation for some things that I'm doing, and hopefully you are too. So I was really, really glad to see this. So allow yourself room to adapt the plan if life takes an unexpected turn. It is okay. A lot of times, most times, that's to your benefit, and you need that turn. You need where it's taking you to grow, and just to flesh some things out about yourself. So you can see time as a partner, not a rival. Instead of racing against time, work with it. Yeah. Set realistic expectations, allow for rest, and recognize that slowing down often leads to greater fulfillment. At the start of each week, you can set realistic expectations by drafting a schedule that blends work tasks with intentional me time. That's always good. This balance can lead to more sustainable progress in both your work and your personal life. So we go on with managing your attention, not just your time. There's another light bulb. So modern life, it bombards us with distractions, so many of those, making multitasking feel like the only way to keep up. Whether it's answering emails over breakfast, and I'm really guilty of multitasking. And I do this, without even knowing. I'll be talking to my mom and watch it, trying to get the full gist of a TV show, and it's crazy. So anyway, but for you, whether it's answering emails over breakfast, juggling multiple tasks at work, or switching between conversations and chores at home, we often believe we're being productive, when in reality, we're just fragmenting our attention. Yeah, that's for sure. I can attest to that. So Dr. Sophie Leroy coined the term attention residue. I like that, to describe how shifting between tasks leaves part of your focus stuck on the previous one. And we know that's not good. So they did a study, and it was published in Organization Science. And it found that when people anticipate returning to an unfinished task under time pressure, they experience attention residue. So this makes it harder to focus on the interrupting task. That's not good. So when everything and everyone is vying for your attention, man, I'm telling you, you need some ways to reclaim that. So here you go. Single task with attention. Multitasking slows down, as we said, it slows you down. It reduces efficiency. Instead of juggling multiple tasks, fully engage with one thing at a time. And you really have to be. I'll speak for myself. I have to really be intentional about really just focusing on one thing. It is so easy for me to try and focus on 50 at a time. So really be intentional about fully engaging with one thing at a time. When working, close any unnecessary tabs. And man, Matt, I don't know about you. I can have 20 tabs open on my computer at one time easily.
Yeah, I'd say so, especially like if I'm working on a project or
Yeah.
something for work like that, and I need to have a whole bunch of tabs open,
Yeah.
and going back and forth between each tab, and
Right.
yeah, I feel you on that
Yeah.
one.
And so sometimes, but even with that, with what you just said, sometimes there are those tabs that you can close out. So I'm gonna really be intentional about closing out any tabs that I really don't need open. You can silence your notifications, give yourself a distraction-free block of time. I did this, Matt, last week, and what I found was the work that I was able to do. It was man, so much more meaningful. It was richer. I did such a great job, if I should say so myself, because I was actually able to focus on just that one thing. I said, you know what? I like this. There's something to this focusing on just one thing. So, really good there. Also, use the ready to resume plan before switching tasks. Take 30 seconds to jot down where you left off. This clears mental space, it reduces attention residue, and it makes it easier to refocus when you return. Something good. I like that. All right. Setting boundaries around distractions. So, identify your biggest interruptions, whether it be your phone notifications, your emails, any background noise, and create limits. Try designating screen free hours or scheduling deep work sessions when you focus uninterrupted. I like that. I had heard about this deep work thing, and I like the deep work, but you have to be very, very intentional. But it is so good when you can do that. Also, give your brain transition time. So when shifting between tasks, pause for a moment to reset. Take a few deep breaths. Yeah. Stretch or briefly reflect before jumping into something new. All right. So then you want to slow down and savor the present. So when you're constantly rushing to the next task, you rob yourself of truly experiencing life as it happens. So, in other words, your perception of time expands when you're fully engaged in the present instead of worrying about how little of it you have left. Another study, I love these studies. This one was published in Mindfulness. Researchers found that simply paying more attention to the present moment, also known as dispositional mindfulness, like that one too, and consciously savoring positive experiences can work together to boost day-to-day positive emotions and overall psychological health. So, slowing down isn't about ignoring responsibilities or ditching your goals. It's about cultivating what positive psychologists call time affluence. I love all these terms. This is the sense that you have enough mental space and flexibility to savor your experiences rather than rushing through them. Oh, I like that. So, by consciously slowing down and immersing yourself fully in the present moment, the world around you, your senses, your thoughts, you'll not only fight time sickness, but also discover that life feels richer when you're not racing against the clock. For sure. So, time sickness can trick you into believing you're stuck in a relentless race. But once you step off the treadmill of constant hurry and learn to work with time rather than against it, life opens up in unexpected ways. That's for sure. So, the pace of the world won't slow down, but you can choose your own rhythm, discover more room for what truly matters, and finally feel in control of your time. So I hope this was helpful. I mean, even just getting this information and even just disseminating this to you has helped me. This is all about just reclaiming your time during International Take Back Your Time Week. It is all about man, getting rid of that time sickness, having time affluence, all of that. So I hope this episode, I hope you enjoyed it. Feel free to go back and listen to it again, download, share with a friend. All right. I'll tell you what, make sure that you check us out also on Deep Breath and Taste Buds at blogspot.com. How do we end every episode, Matt?
With the deep breath.
Let's do that. Come on. In and out. Once again, thank you for joining me for this episode of Take a Deep Breath with Yvonne Daniels podcast. And I will see you in the next episode.
Good stuff.